Hi, this is Gregory Lewandowski, and I'm sharing a little video today that combines my love of data and analytics and data visualization and AI. And in order to do this, I'm going to be using a combination of Perplexity to source the data, as well as Claude to create a little application for it. So in this case, what we are looking for data-wise, because pop culture is always interesting, is political data related to the recent election. Doesn't matter which side of the aisle you sit on, it's just interesting data. So the swing states were very important in this recent election. So we are looking for swing state data from 1968 to today, and we are looking to see which party won and how many votes were cast. I initially went to ChatGPT to source this data, and I did not get an answer, probably because it was political in nature. But I was able to get it from Perplexity. And through a series of iterations and asking it to put in tables that I could copy, it provided me exactly what I needed. One note I will give you here is that the 2024 data is said to be hypothetical because some of the states may not have completely closed yet, or it's the sources are just not up to date. But we'll go ahead and we'll copy this data, which actually I've already done here, and we'll paste it, which I've already done, right into the prompt. So the prompt is very simple. I wanted to create a visualization comparing which party won and the total number of votes by state for each year. I'm specifying that Democrats will always be blue, Republicans will always be red, and that each part of each line should be represented in this way. And my hope is that from each year, we'll see a change in color, if appropriate, in the specific line for the specific state that shows who won that particular year. And the data to create this chart is attached. So we'll go ahead and click on upload here, and you can see that it's uploading the data. It will also open up a window on the right-hand side. This is a coding window. Frankly, I find this kind of boring, so I will go ahead and pause along the way, but I do want to explain one thing first. This is an iterative process. It is not Google. You don't simply ask a question and get an answer 99% of the time. To create good generative AI, you need to iterate on your questions. You need to hone in on the answers that you're looking for. You need to ask it to make changes along the way. And that's what we're going to do throughout this video. So this is just the first section of it. And in the meantime, I will either trim out or pause as we get to, or as we are looking at the coding here. Okay, so Claude has not responded well so far. It is simply showing us a couple of dots here, and it is not allowing us to multi-select. So let's go ahead and make some changes to what we're asking for. So very simply put, the user must be able to multi-select states for comparison. The chart should be in the form of a line chart. Let's go ahead and send that back up to Claude, and we'll see what the response looks like. Hopefully this will get us a lot closer to what we're looking for. Okay, and we are back. We're definitely a little bit closer here. We can see that Florida has already been selected. Let's go ahead and add North Carolina. We now have two states here. We can see the total number of voters. We can see the years, and we can also see that a couple of the labels are missing here. Also, it's not going out to 2024, but that's also not a big deal. We can see that the hovers look pretty good as well. Shows us the state, the number of voters, and which party won. I find this to be very, very interesting. Each of the bubbles that represent the break in the years shows which party won. I'd like those to be a little bit bigger. Each point should be twice the size. And let's also state that each line should be a consistent color, each line should change color at the year point to represent which party won in that year. Let's see what we get here. We'll go ahead and send this back up to Claude, And like I said, I will either pause or trim this video so that you do not need to deal with the coding part of it. And Claude has responded here, not with a line chart. Unfortunately, it came back with a dot chart, but it does allow us to go ahead and do a comparison state by state with the multi-select. So let's go ahead and try again. Just say this should be in the form of a line chart. And we'll go ahead and send that back up. It'll go through the coding again, and I will bring us back once we get a response. Okay, and Claude has responded once again. This is looking much better, though it is still having trouble with the line segments and making the line segments a different color. And that's okay. That's okay. We're still able to look at North Carolina and look at Florida and see how the change in the voting numbers has occurred, as well as what year it was in and which party won. And I'm not a political pundit, but I do find this to be incredibly interesting as we take a look at it. Seeing which states have increased in voting, we can see that when we look at Ohio, the number of voters has stayed pretty much the same. We can see that when we look at Arizona, it has gone and skyrocketed up into 2020. We can see that when we look at Georgia, it has gone up quite a bit as well. I think there was one other one that stayed pretty stable as far as the numbers. But regardless, this is interesting information. It is interesting that we are able to use a couple of different generative AI tools, being Perplexity and Claude, to scrape the data that we need and then to go ahead and create a small application that we can use in any way that we choose to use. So I hope you find this interesting. I hope you find it valuable in understanding the way that you would create a prompt, the way that you would gather the data, and I hope it sparks some ideas in how you might be able to use some of these generative AI tools. So remember, AI is 10% technology and 90% people. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.